Hi everyone, welcome to Tales of Dread. Ladies and gentlemen, all I ask is that you do your part and click the like and subscribe buttons. As a boy, I wanted to be a police officer for as long as I could remember. My dad worked for the police. So that's how I thought as a child. I remember that when I was young he taught me things. Most kids didn't know how to get out of the trunk of a car or how to tell if someone was printing situational awareness. I think my life was saved by their training, especially their training on situational awareness. In May 2018, as a Louisiana State Trooper, I was in Truro, Fisher, Hornbeck, Leesville, and just about every other small town west of Alexandria. I wasn't in one place. Now, most of the time, we're talking about tickets for going too fast. And a few terrible, awful accidents. Now, before I say anything else, let me tell you a little bit about how troopers really do their jobs. Each of us has a signpost. And by post, I mean a section of road that was in charge of 50 miles in our case. But sometimes, because of an arrest or accident, another trooper has to take over your post. This means you have to cover a lot more ground and travel a lot more. This particular night, I was way up in Pelican, Louisiana, when a DUI arrest was made down in Hornbeck. So I moved down in that direction, and by the time I got to 175 and Manny, we were getting calls about what seemed to be an accident at the intersection of 473 and 191 right there in Truro. I'm going in that direction now. But when I get to that intersection, there's nothing there. I have to go another 4 miles down 191 to find something. I see a car parked on the other side of the road with a man hunched over it. I think to myself, oh, hell, this guy must be high or drunk right now. I turned on all of my lights and everything. I pull up next to him, and turn my car so that it is between us. Okay. Now, the first strange thing I noticed about this situation was that this guy never turned around and looked back at me, even though he had to see my lights coming down on him. He kept peeking over the hood of his car, and when I pulled over and got out of my car, he still didn't look when I told him, "Sir, I'm going to need you to stand up, show me your hands, and move away from that car." He still didn't respond now with their weapons ready. I'll say it again, "Sir, get up and move away from the car. Now." Only then did my words seem to get through to him, because he stood up, turned around, and started crying like someone had just died. He was a white man who looked to be between 47 and 49 years old, and he had one of those faces with saggy, droopy eyes that you could never forget. His skin seemed to sag. You can tell that this guy drank a lot. Oh God, please help me. Thank you. When I looked at his hands, they were empty. He only had one shoe on, and when he took it off, the man running toward me looked like he was scared out of his mind. I moved back and to the side, giving us more space between us. But he ran right past me, slid to the ground, and crouched down behind my car. Listen, I've seen a lot of strange things since I became a police officer, but this guy was literally acting like something or someone was shooting at him, and I'm 100% sure that he's on some kind of psychedelic drugs right now. There is something very wrong with him. So, I'm telling him again, "Sir, stand up and put your hands on the hood of the car." I'm looking for weapons, drugs, or anything else, in his front pockets, back pockets, legs, hips, shoulders, etc., but I don't find anything. Have you taken any drugs while drinking? Do you still cry? He looks over his shoulder and says, "No, sir, I'm not doing that, and I haven't done anything like that. No, I'm not on drugs, sir." So I'm like, "Okay then, sir." So, What's the matter? Why did you park in the middle of the road? Listen to me. The man is shaking all over. He said that this wolf went after my car. It just ran out into the road, hit the front of my car, and ran back into the woods. It's not gone. I saw it, it's still there, and my car started to smoke. So I got out of the car. When I looked back up at his car, I could see that it was smoking, and when I calmed down a little, I could smell the smoke. He says, listen, I don't care what you do. Just arrest me, put me in the back of your car, and let's get the hell out of here, because there's something over there in the woods, sir. Was there anyone else with you? No, now it's just me. I don't know if he's high or what the hell is going on, and it's making me crazy. So I said, listen, let's walk back over, look at your car, and see what's going on. But he won't listen to him when he says, officer, you have to listen to me. We need to leave, I mean it. I'm pretty sure there are more of them in the woods. Now, stop for a moment. I need you to understand something from my point of view. At this time in my life, I had never heard of a dogman, nor did I know that something like this existed. But I can tell you that I found out they were real seconds later. Oh man, let me tell you, I put him in handcuffs, put him in the back of my car, and started walking to his car. That's when I first heard the growling. The ground was loud and nasty, and it sounded like 10 big dogs were growling at me at once. I had a weapon-drawing flashlight in my hand. When I got to the front of his car, it looked like it had been hit by another car. His headlights start to flicker, and I hear movement in the tree line. I turn and shine the flashlight in that direction. When I turned around, I saw 2 dog men. One was on all fours and looked like an overgrown Doberman pinscher. It was easily worth 400 pounds. The other one was standing right behind it. But it didn't look the same. This thing looks like a black wolf because it has a big head and big shoulders. God, this was a big thing. Now, at that time, I knew I was in a bad situation, but something didn't seem right. It just didn't make sense. Why did these 2 people come up to me? Why did they growl? Why did they do something that made people notice them? Have you ever been in a weird or strange situation where you just knew something wasn't right? Well, that's how I felt now. Even though I was looking at these 2 monsters, my gut told me there was something else out there.